Hey, DJ.
Hey, Andy, how you doing?
I'm good. How's it going?
Great. And joining me also in the room is Seth Armstrong.
Hello,
Hey.
Mr. Serkis.
Hey, Seth.
Now, this is an honor to talk to you, my friend. The new movie, Dawn of Planet of the Apes. Now, you're an award-winning actor, performance capture master. You've played characters in huge movies, King Kong, Tintin, Lord of the Rings, and then you're coming back. Like, what is it like to see your characters finally hit the screen? Because you do all this stuff kind of behind the scenes with the performance capture, but then when you see that for the first time, when they put everything together, does it just bring like a tear to your eye?
Oh, I have to say, I mean, in this film particularly, the work that Weta, the visual effects company, who finally render the characters on screen, the work that they've done is just extraordinary. And you know, when you see all the performance, all the kind of the nuance that where you work with the other fellow actors on set, and you work with Matt Reeves, the director, and suddenly it all comes together. And I saw it for the first time last night, and it's pretty mind-blowing this time. It's moved on hugely, even since Rise of the Planet of the Apes.
Now, when you're doing the performance capture, it brings a whole new dimension to kind of computerized imagery. Do you think one day performance capture artistry will be able to be nominated for an Academy Award for Best Actor or something like that?
Well, here's the thing, I mean, really it's all down to the authorship of the role. So, playing the character is the part that we do on the set. And so that's no different in playing any character, whether it be a live-action character in a film or a performance-captured role. You're still an actor working with the other guys, creating the scene and the drama and so on. So I actually think there shouldn't be any sort of separate category as such. I think it should be part of the acting side, as the visual effects side take care of the performance capture.
Well, yeah, in both projects you're in, with Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson said, like, without the character of Gollum, the movie would have just fell apart. And even with Planet of the Apes, I think it was Tom Felton who said it was terrifying how primitive you could act. And even with James Franco once said, he said it was you that really brought everybody in, because it's such a pivotal position to be in, such a pivotal role.
It's a great role. The thing is, with Caesar, it's a beautifully written role, and it's a very complex, sort of psychologically complex and diverse role, and especially in this iteration of the film, in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, it's even more complex, really, in terms of Caesar as a leader now, 10 years on, and he has a family, and he's placed in this. He's a very in a conflicted sort of character in the sense that he's been brought up with human beings, so understands them, and so as the conflict between apes and humans arise, he's sort of well placed to be the one to try and find a peaceful solution. So it's a very rich role this time.
Andy Serkis joining us on the line, starring as Caesar in the new Planet of the Apes movie, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, opening up this Friday. In the new movie, he's a bit more tame, but in the first one, he was still a wild animal. So how did you tap into that kind of primal instinct that is inside all of us, but we kind of keep it suppressed when you were playing the ape?
I mean, the interesting thing about Caesar as a character, of course, is that if you remember the story of Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Will, who's played by James Franco, is a scientist trying to find a cure for Alzheimer's, and he creates this drug, which is like an anti-Alzheimer's drug, which then enhances the intelligence of the apes that are experimented on and evolves them. So in this Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, that has continued. That process has continued. I always played him as a kind of an ape, as a human in ape skin, really. He's not just a normal ape in that respect. He really feels he's human because he's brought up with human beings. And only when he gets rejected by humanity and then is put into a sanctuary and has to engage with his inner apeness, if you like, and bring all those other apes together, and he leads them to freedom. The physicality, the emotion, all of that is touched by the fact that he isn't entirely 100% ape, which also, ironically, of course, is the metaphor of the whole Apes franchise. We are looking at the human condition through the eyes of apes. So it's a sort of a double play, really. Now,
when you're doing this and what we see on screen, now you're behind the scenes, the whole performance capture, and the suits are really. You see them for the first time, and it's kind of hard to almost take you serious. The first one, I think they called it was the Gimp suit with Lord of the Rings. And then I think James Franco said with Planet of the Apes, it was more like space pajamas.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, a question for you: Has your wife ever maybe seen these suits at home? Do you ever bring them home? Maybe.
Oh yeah, no, I wear them at home all the time. I mean, I don't ever really wear anything else anymore. I just tend to. No, of course, I'm joking. And moving on. No.
They look comfortable though, man. Like if all the other actors got like these like stuffy kind of suits on or whatever, and you got this like looks like Under Armour like latex. Like it looks nice.
Yeah, no, it's quite it's good for Saturday nights. It's particularly good. Yeah.
Well, do you think maybe a remake of Pulp Fiction then, wearing that suit you're going to star in?
Why not? I mean, it's made for it, right?
How do your kids react to this? Because you're like looking at all the stuff you've done in all these movies. You are a part of these massive franchises. It must be so cool that like Dad is all these characters. Like you must help him out a lot with the school and making friends and.
Yeah, I mean, my kids are now, my daughter's 15, not so cool anymore for her. My son's 14, just getting to the point where it's probably not so cool. But my 10-year-old son, he still loves it, so that's all right.
So growing up, like, did you ever maybe call like their friends and prank call as Gollum just to kind of get a rise out of them? Or maybe hit up like a drive-through and maybe order something as like Caesar or King Kong or something like that.
Yeah. No, I would love to do that. I haven't quite had the kahunas to do that, but I'm sure I could at some point.
So with your family in real life and with Caesar's family on screen, who has the better behaved children?
Oh, without question, Caesar has the better behaved children. Yeah.
Andy Serkis on the line playing Caesar in Dawn of Planet of the Apes opens this Friday in theaters everywhere all across the world. Now, this movie, they're really talking about the family dynamic that is brought to the screen. No,
it is actually. It's a really beautiful dynamic, and it's echoed in the lives of the humans as well. I mean, they're parallel. But what's great about this movie? It's really balanced. You don't kind of end up rooting for either apes or humans. They're both trying to survive. The human it is about family. It's about the lengths you go to protect your family. But also, Caesar does have a relationship. It's a father-son film in many respects. His teenage son is wanting to, step up to his dad and prove that he can be, as powerful a leader as he is, so that he can take on the mantle once that Caesar's gone. And he's a little bit too young and unable to do that at present. So it's a very touching, part of the storyline for sure.
So it's very much like real life. The son's always trying to please the father, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly that.
In Lord of the Rings, your real spit showed up on screen for Gollum. Is there any part of the real Andy Serkis that shows up on screen in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes?
I have a good few spits in this as well, actually. There's a couple. In fact, there's a very definite spit right about the very first words that Caesar utters in this. So keep an eye out for it.
Okay, definitely will.
Like Easter egg or something right there. And I think one other thing we should probably mention too is that people maybe don't really appreciate this because you are doing all the actions behind the set and you're just as physical. So when you're climbing around as Gollum on a rock or as Caesar, this is you in real life doing this, and you are a climber yourself.
Yeah, I've done. I used to be. Mountaineering was a huge part of my life. Ever since the age of 13, I did a lot of rock climbing and spent a lot of time in the Alps, in the Swiss and French Alps, climbing in my 20s and 30s. Climbed the solo climbed up the Matterhorn and
just the Matterhorn, hey? You're like, just
no big deal.
On a weekend.
I just thought I'd drop that in,
Yeah, like, once, I climbed the Matterhorn, no big deal.
I've been up to Squamish, actually, to climb on the Chief, which is great, just outside Vancouver. I don't know if you know that area.
Squamish has actually got a great music festival. Here in Saskatchewan, though, it's pretty flat, no mountains. We do have a lot of buildings, though, with bricks, and since you played King Kong, maybe you ever consider climbing a building to make up for no mountains?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, I'd love to do that. In fact, I've climbed, I actually climbed up the Eiffel Tower once.
They let you do that?
It was at night. It was back in the days before surveillance cameras.
All right, okay. And YouTube and all that fun stuff, we would have had a fun time with that one.
Well, I think they should send you up there again in the GIMP suit so they can kind of have Caesar climbing the Eiffel Tower for a great promo. That'd be amazing.
I'm going to suggest that, actually.
Chatting with Andy Serkis on the line. Been in a ton of big movies. Gollum in Lord of the Rings coming back as Caesar in Dawn of Planet of the Apes this week. And I see that you've just been asked by Warner Brothers to direct this live action Jungle Book movie.
Yeah. No, I'm directing that. So that's because one of the things that I'm doing at the moment is I've set up a performance capture studio in London with my producing partner, Jonathan Cavendish. Jonathan produced films like The Bridget Jones Diary and Elizabeth the Golden Age. He's a really experienced film producer, and we set up a studio for furthering the art and craft of performance capture and building different methodologies for working on different kinds of characters. So Warner's asked me to direct Jungle Book, and that's going to so we're starting to move into that, and it's really fascinating.
Well, if you need a couple of actors, I think DJ Tanner and I are we're not faces for movies, but if you're doing the performance capture, then.
But let me just audition you here. Let's take Apes for example. Could you do a pant hoot for me, which is a kind of like a chimpanzee call when they're slightly distressed. Have you heard of pant hoot? It kind of goes. Could you just try one of those?
Who's going to go? Seth, you want to go first? Yeah, you go first.
Excuse me.
That's pretty good.
That actually sounds like you're doing something kind of on a Saturday night, which we can't really discuss.
Sounds like a squeaky washing machine or something going back and forth. All right, I see if I can show you up with that.
Oh, that's very good. No, I buy that one. Sorry, I don't.
Come on,
that's it, Min. You're out. And another movie that I guess you are working on too, that I guess we really can't talk about, Star Wars. But that is congratulations on that. That is really cool. I saw the cast photo, and there you are in there with Harrison Ford and everybody else. So
yeah.
That is another massive thing to be a part of, so congrats on that.
Oh, thanks, man.
You're going to be like the biggest draw at Comic-Con events in the future, because here you are representing like these massive fan bases all on your own.
No, I don't know. I don't even know how I've ended up here, really. It's
crazy.
But it's a kind of cool place to be. Yeah, I'm really thrilled. No, I mean, Star Wars is going to be amazing. J.J. Abrams, of course, is such a genius director, and it'd be thrilled to work with him.
And no word on your characters yet or anything like that? You get sworn to secrecy on that still, hey?
Yeah. I can't actually tell you anything, otherwise I will get beaten to death by a lightsaber.
So as far as we're concerned right now, you're playing Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah. I could. Okay, let's just say that for now.
No,
just ruin the fan bases right there.
All right. Now I got to ask you a favor, if I can. See, a couple really good friends of mine are getting married.
Oh, wow.
Now, the bride is a pretty big Lord of the Rings fan, so I was wondering if you could maybe, give a little shout out to them.
Absolutely. What are their names?
It is John and Jenna. John and
Jenna, okay. Okay, so here we go. So I'll just have to call Gollum to the phone. Hold on one second. Gollum, can you just come over here? Because there's a couple of people who are getting married, John and Jenna, and they want to speak to you. Oh, come on, just do it for them. Just once, right? Oh, come on, man. Right, come over here. Come here.
Hello, John. Hello, Jenna. So you're getting married, are you? Yes, we're getting married, precious. Well, I hope it goes well.
There you go. Thank you for that. Thanks, Colin. Thanks.
That is amazing.
Gollum's so polite. I never expected that.
Yeah, no, he's on a chain at the moment. He's tied to the table. I whip him if he gets out of order.
How are you not it's like you're like schizophrenic or something? You got all these personalities under your belt, man. How do you keep it all together?
Yeah. No, it gets interesting.
Well, thank you so much for the time again, my friend.
Thank you so much.
It has been incredible to talk to you. You are a master of your craft and a legend, and I got a whole bunch more respect for you. I was actually in Calgary at their Comic-Con event. And they had Richard Taylor was there, and they had the Lord of the Rings, a bunch of cast members there, and they're talking about you so much and how you brought so much to the movies, and everything that you touch just kind of it's like magic,
Oh, well, I've just had some amazing opportunities with some amazing, just world class talent, and like Weta and Richard Taylor and all of those guys. I mean, that's been one of the greatest joys of all of this, really, is to work with just brilliant artists. So God, I mean, what I do is only the beginning of the process, really.
All right, Andy Serkis coming back as Caesar in Dawn of Planet of the Apes opens everywhere July 11th. You can also look for him in the new Star Wars Episode 7, Avengers 2. Thank you so much for the time.
Take care.